Alrighty, good evening and welcome Zelda 1 Randomizer race fans to the Zelda 1 Randomizer 2025 Random Force Tournament. We are in our 6th and final Swiss week right now, and we are watching Sharky2107 play versus It's a Starman right now in the 0-5 matchup to determine seeding properties over in the low roll bracket. Coming at you today, my name is Neo Nonin, and I am commenting in the booth here with PDX Rex. Hello, Rex. How are you doing this evening?
What's going on, Stats? This is Fax checking in. We've got tracks behind the scene. Big shout out to Nochi helping us out with the track here. I'm doing great, man. I believe just like week one that we did comms together, I just had some nachos for dinner. Super great. How are you doing?
Just like week one, I'm incredibly jealous that you had nachos for dinner. But, I guess that's a problem I can solve on my own at some point. I just don't. But, yeah, I like the call out here. Stats, facts, and tracks. This team of three has been running for quite a few matches overall. And that means what you guys are going to get today is you're going to get not only a fantastic match between these two runners, but you're also going to get a lot of data as we fire off over in the southwest corner of Hyrule. Let's see what we end up with over in the open cave in the Dead Woods.
Just a grumpy old man who is going to say stuff that we have no idea what he is actually saying. This is due to our first flag we'll talk about, which is Book to Understand Old Men. So they're going to speak gibberish until we can find that book to figure out what they are actually saying. The big part of this flag is if we want to be reading hints, we need to have that book. All right, so you came here for stats and facts and tracks, so let's go ahead and get this thing started while we're traversing the overworld. We have some race-specific flag stats for you to start off with. So these guys, in this flag string that we're talking about right now, Sharky has 5 total races, and Starman has raced these flags 25 times. So Sharky is 0-5 in his 5 races, so that's kind of where his stats end here. But Starman has an average finish time of 1 hour 18 minutes. So I think that's kind of what we're going to shoot here for. We're going to shoot for an hour and 20 minute seed to see if we can keep the stats rolling.
Alrighty, and incidentally, just as an operational thing, everybody, we're doing a little bit of cleanup on the cropping and a little bit of the audio sync in the background, so apologies for that right now as we start moving through, but we should have that looking nice and fresh and clean for you in just a moment.
Yeah, it looks like we found a nice baby blue level there for Starman, but he dipped out. Flag string, you really want to find a sword as soon as you can. We got some good goodies in the Armos item as well. So you definitely want to probably not dip too much into dungeons at the very beginning. You want to try to get some offensive weapons going first, but sometimes it is worth peeking around and checking some open doors as you get started. So while we're continuing to traverse here, let's talk about some overall stats between these guys. So Sharky's been in the community since November 19th of 2017. So he's an old school runner as he sees a 1 rupee small. That's a big ouch. Starman joined us March 3rd of 2022. So he's been with us for a couple years here. Sharky has 72 total races, while Starman has 30. So a little heavier on the Sharky side due to that experience of being here in the community a little bit longer. So it's kind of where we sit at here on the start.
All right, and I think we'll see some things fix themselves over on the cropping side in just a moment. We're just about good with the audio synchronization, just about, and then we get to have a little bit more back and forth here.
Perfect. I got one last stat to say. These guys have never played each other in those 72 matches that Sharky's done, so somebody's going to go 1-0 in the head-to-head this evening. Answered some questions in his chat. Yes, we are at 1 rupee small as Sharky finds that baby blue level 8. We have not seen Mags yet. Hoping we can get a Mags check here pretty soon. Starman's going to check a 38 mid, so 38 mid is good. That's going to give us hopefully plenty of money to get kind of the necessities. We'll see what the large secret looks like if we're going to be able to get some of those luxury items. Oh, Nochi tagging in. We did see an 81 large. So there we go with a minus 21 on the door repair. So let's do some math here. 80 plus 40 is 120. 120 is above the poverty line, but we're kind of like at a lower middle class due to that negative 21 door repair. Sharky is hitting up that Rick 6. He's going to see a couple rooms in the dungeon before he dips out if he can't find anything good. Starman with the Take Any Cave finds himself a nice heart, which gets him eligible for a white sword item, which will roll between 4 to 6 hearts as a pickup. So kind of one of the other things here between these two is Starman does find his wood sword. Although they have never faced each other here in Hyrule, they are SMB3R rivals. So we got some Super Mario Brother 3 rivalry action. Is it called Mario Land? I know zero Mario lore except for the fact that their names are Mario, and Luigi Mario. That's all.
Well, that's a great statistic too. That they everybody enjoyed when they made that fantastic movie with Dennis Hopper and Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, right?
It's crazy that they only made one Mario movie and they put such a perfect cast together that they never had to do it ever again. It's like the best thing ever.
That is exactly what happened, and I will refuse to hear any other version of that story.
Well, this is Stats, Facts, and Tracks, so you can mark it down. There's only ever one Mario movie, and it was the greatest movie ever filmed.
Oh, that's correct. All right, we are rocking and rolling over here now. Both of our runners have seen level 8 at this point in time. Sharky, a little far away from where we're going to be getting that wood sword. Looks like he's going to enjoy doing a little bit of routing over here on the western side of Hyrule. We have a free item hanging out under the Armos somewhere. That might be of interest, but gosh, that blue candle, that's a lot of interest in this flag set, because you aren't getting any of those for free this time around.
We do have a correction in chat. It is the Magic Kingdom, not Mario Land or Mario World, whatever I said. So big shout out, Tom Maple. Thanks for backing me up, brother, my Canadian brother. Yeah, blue candle, great pickup right there. You got the money. You're right by the forest. Let's do some deforestation.
Yeah, Starman and Sharky on very different sides of the map right now, so we got a pretty good divergence in the path. And Sharky, using that candle to maybe be a little offensive here, but yeah, let's get your first kill on a bomb dropper. Get those bombs, very nice.
I feel a divergence in the force right now.
Bombs and candle on the left-hand side, having an actual sword on the right-hand side. One's going to be better for the overworld, one's going to go ahead and be a lot better for the actual dungeons themselves, though I think we've only seen at this point in time level 8.
Yeah, Sharky picks up another Take Any Heart, which is going to get him a little closer to the white sword item than Starman is as he's checking out Casino Corner and finds a little bit of cash hanging out on the floor. Everyone likes walking down the street and finding a $20 bill blowing in the wind.
Absolutely. And take a look at that cheap key there. That's almost the cheapest that the cheap key can be over at 65. Now, keys they're not statistically, for our stats, they are not statistically bad in distribution for this seed. They're actually pretty standard across all of the other, on this flag set, across all the other flag sets out there. But it is felt like, this is where we go out of stats into the gut reaction, it's felt like keys are pretty bad over in some of these seeds that we run into. So, knowing that you can get a cheap one if you really need it, not the worst in the world, as Starman finds the hints, or the first set of hints, over on the bomb spot in the Lost Woods, or the lower part of the Lost Hills, sorry.
Yeah, two good prices there, 15 and 11, and then a bad one at like 42 or whatever. Sharky's found himself another very large dungeon, a 7 with the Dig Dogger hanging out. I'm probably out of here once I see these shutter doors. There's no more of this dungeon I want to be in right now.
No, you got nothing else. You don't have the combat to clear this room. Or, I mean, I guess you could if you really want to put the time into it and keep going further.
Did you hear that? I think Jess just popped in here and blew her tutor because we have a tutor in the Armos spot.
That's your free item. Getting a nice little recorder out of the way, and that means that we get an early check over at 2Q3.
Yeah, one of the best things you can do when you find an item like this is go use it. And a heart container under a flute spot, it's going to give you a little bit of an advantage. Now we've got the tied up heart containers, so maybe we'll see that white sword item over here in the forest.
Maybe we will. What are you thinking on the white sword item? Conjecture. Time to go make some guesses.
I think that we're going to have a jet seed tonight, so I'm going to go with the animal key in the white sword item.
I'm liking the white sword item being vanilla, being actually the white sword.
5 tries. Yes, let's go. Let's go. We got the fast travel with the recorder. We got the 5 tries. We're going to have an animal key to unlock all the doors. And the white sword item, I'm calling it right now. Get on Hyrule Jet Airlines. Let's go.
We go ahead and we make this a nice, easy route for our runners to go and find our bow and our silver arrows. Maybe the silvers will even be in 9, statistically, if they're not in the overworld. 9 is the most likely spot for them. But going through and taking a run on that one would be great. Nice and neat and easy for these runners.
All right, Starman picks up the potion paper. I love to see that. We can get some drinks on our way to 9 if we need them, or anywhere else. Might need some drinks before then. Stay thirsty. Oh yes, let's go. Hot dogs in the White Sword Cave logs. Let's go. Let's do some sailing. Come sail away. Let's roll, or let's sail.
Now, in order for this to in fact be a jet seed with the white sword item playing a part, it's not a combat item there. It's not the any key being the raft. We're gonna have to have a raft block, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that we should see. Oh, red ring on the coast. Love to see that as well. Sharky finds his wood sword, so that's always great. Yeah, I'd like to see maybe a nice level 1 on the west raft spot. I think that'd be great.
Going back into fun statistics in this flag set, the location on the overworld least likely to house a level is the west flag spot, west raft spot. Sorry. Though to be fair, it's barely least likely to do that.
I'm going to hit you with a stat that I have in the memory, which the opposite of that, the spot that's most likely to have a level in this flag set is the bomb spot in the grave, which is ingrained in my brain right lately.
What I love the most is when we found that out, when we actually pulled up that statistic. Since then, I think today was the first time I've actually seen a level there. So, stats maybe don't tell everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about this offline. It's like as soon as we got that data, it quit happening. But then we saw it today in a race that you had earlier.
Yeah. As I believe your comment was at the time, is the stats tell the past, they do not tell the future. And well, you know what? Let's see how the future holds. Unfortunate death for Sharky over there before we got more exploration, but he did manage to pick up the recorder before that death happened.
It's kind of the cool thing about right now is that we're in the present, and it's always a present to be in the presence of all of you people here in chat. We are not in the past or the future, or we are in the past or the future. I don't know. I just want to go time traveling. I think that'd be awesome.
I think it'd be fantastic. You got to make sure you don't run into one of those grandfather paradoxes, though.
Hey, you know what? These guys actually can go time traveling. Because there's this cool thing in this game where you can do an up A save, so you can go do some stuff, and if you screw something up, you just save out of it and reset, and then go back to where you were. So you kind of can do some time traveling here.
Yeah, we did get the request in chat, incidentally. How many of these different seeds that we look at, how many of these different ROMs did we take a peek at when we came up with these stats? Over 100,000. So this is a fair distribution across the route of where we're at.
Yep, many nights having the computer click buttons for me to get those seeds, and then waking up the next day and seeing that it misclicked something and not getting anywhere amount of seeds that I wanted. Sharky finds himself a nice lavender realm 5 with an item. It's the ladder. Let's go. Ooh. Put your racing shoes on. We're running this thing.
Jet seed prediction underway. Jess, I don't know what you rolled this time, but it's looking good.
Yes, we thank you for your service.
All right, we got Starman doing a couple of the checks that we already saw from Sharky's end over here, and I believe we've seen him on Starman's too, because that means we are about to get a candle purchase, I believe. And there it is.
Looks like we got a discount Arby's burger there, 44 rupees, just in case we need to get a roast beef sandwich to feed to the dude blocking. We've got 2 links, right? So we should see a moblin or Guria. It's a Guria. Nope, it's a moblin. I don't play vanilla. Can you tell?
I know, right? It's by default it's a Guria, but in the randomizer, Fred has put it in there that we sometimes see different mobs in that spot.
Oh, what a great fact you have there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get back into my lane with stats.
Oh no, you're all good. Share. I took a stat earlier, so we bouncing back and forth. We're all good.
All right, let's see here. We were finding that transport over in 5, so we're going to go check out the other side of it. 5, of course, is only going to have one transport staircase, unless it's a segmented 5, which hilarity will ensue if that's the case. But this should send us into another part of a continuous level at this point. Should.
All right, Starman is second into 5, so he should be picking up that ladder, so that's good. Going to keep these guys nice and close on items. If any of this information that we're spewing out to you sounds interesting and you want to know where you can find more, exclamation Z1R 2025 will get you the link to the wiki. A lot of great information on the wiki. Threech has done some good work in this last week, kind of getting that homepage cleaned up. So navigation is at like a peak right now. So a great place to go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Bunch of people putting into chat a lot of different commands over there, and so the first and foremost is that Z1R 2025. Lots of great information there. Not only is there more data about how this game runs and how this particular tournament runs at that link there, but there's really everything that you need if you want to join this community, either as a runner, as commentary, as tracking, or any of the things that you might want. Maybe you just want to hang back and see a little bit more of what goes on behind the scenes over in Discord. Come on down, take a trip. You got everything you need to go and get started and join this wonderful community. The second note is a link to the Twitch resources for our runners. Go ahead and take a peek over there if you can. These are both people who will stream things other than just these matches over here. Go give them a follow, check them out. They do a great job for our benefit.
Yeah, I was checking these guys out. We already talked about their Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer. Starman, I believe, is playing some Final Fantasy games as well. And I saw Sharky playing some Donkey Kong Country Jr. or something. Some Donkey Kong something. So these guys, good variety. If you're, nobody's on Zelda, you can go check them out playing some other things as well.
That seems fair. Sharky's had a little bit of a time in 5, while Starman manages to find that map and take a look at that 5.
Yeah, to answer your question in chat, Sharky has not been on the coast yet, so he does not know the Red Ring is over there. I would assume Starman's probably going to try a world wrap once he gets out of this 5 to go pick that up. As Sharky finds himself a Realm 2. Oh, they're both Realm users.
And we'll add in there because it was brought up in chat. I also hear the tourney admin team is pretty cool. Big thank you to the tourney admin team. I mentioned that we are in week 6, the final week of the Swiss round. But we go into brackets next week. As a matter of fact, we'll do a bracket reveal tomorrow, mixed with the Zelda 1 Randomizer Award show that will be on the Zelda 1 Randomizer Twitch channel. Check it out. I think it's going to be around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that'll give you an idea of what to expect in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, we're just kind of getting started in the season here as we are rolling close to the end of March, which is crazy. I'm very excited about the awards show. It's going to be happening tomorrow, along with any kind of information that comes out. Along with that, and the brackets, it is Hyrule Pandemonium, I think is the phrase we're allowed to say. So, very excited.
Starman's continuing to put the effort into 5, and having that ladder, no ladder blocks there, get to keep poking her. Oh, Sharky! Perfectly timed fairy, but unfortunately a little overzealous to grab it.
Yeah, I think you got to stick this 5 out, right? I mean, it's kind of a big 5, but it's very concentrated. Enemy set's not too bad. You got to pull the Triforce out of here and get out.
Yeah, knowing that we're at the 5 Triforce mark, I mean, there are definitely worse dungeons to take than 5. That 8 that we've already seen, that 6 that's a 6 and a 7, like those are all not fun dungeons. Though, I do tend to encourage at least one big level getting dug out, a 6, a 7, or an 8, because statistically speaking, you're likely to find one of the most important items that you need in the game there. You get about a 50% shot of either finding the bow or silvers in your 6, 7, or 8. And if they are not in your 6, 7, or 8, if they are in a lower dungeon number, then about 10% of the time that dungeon is blocked by something that is in 6, 7, or 8. I know that's not a great statistic to sit back and say, man, this is exactly what you need to be digging here, but it's more along the lines of there's some value in one of the big dungeons. You just roll the dice on the right one. Unfortunate for Sharky, by the way, over on the West Coast raft spot. That is a tough screen to get through with those blue dark nuts.
Yep, and as predicted, Starman is putting his world wrap together, so he's going to get that red ring. Sharky's getting a little distracted by that recorder. You know, this is kind of one of those things where you can scroll over there and see what this item is when you're that close, even without the ladder. And I'll see a lot of experienced runners do that just to take a peek. But having the ladder and being that close, it's just, you got to get over there and see what's there. Could be a wand, could be red ring, could be the bow. Like, getting this knowledge to me in this flag set on the coast is almost just as important as the wood sword and the Armos.
I completely agree. And now I'm no expert on clips like this right here. I'm actually quite bad at them, to be fair. But I think Starman's going to have to step off that ladder before they can get a successful clip at this point.
That is correct. Yeah, you got to reset the ladder once you get hit. I don't know the math behind that, but it's every experienced runner has taught me that. So I'm going to take it as total canon that you've got to get off the raft or the ladder.
Hopefully he recognizes that, or at least tries that. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in a spot where, you know, I'd hate to see him up an A from this location here if it doesn't pan out.
There we go. Okay, I always got to get it here. Should be able. Yeah, step off. Yeah, to answer your question, Chad, you just get into the water, do some levitation, then come back over to the ladder, and then you can get the clip. There we go.
There we are.
Let's go.
A little bit of sword action when you're doing a scroll like that. It helps you with an extra buffer of 1 frame, so you don't have to be pixel perfect on that. But, you know, either way, Starman got it. Only cost a few seconds to pull that off. And then, whoops, now we have a red ring that's really going to help with combat. And he's taking out these Gibdos. The man wants bombs.
Yeah, I like this purple tunic on the red pickup. Like that's good color.
Yeah, it's looking pretty clean. There's a lot of good tunic colors that are in the randomizer that Link can go ahead and start off with here. So, and as that works, of course, you can't reuse some of these things, so you have to cycle through. Alrighty, we got Sharky. Is Sharky going to 8? No, Sharky's continuing exploration. That's fair. Oh, we're going to go try that ladder spot again over on Sharky's side.
Yeah, I got enough hearts to get through there. I'm calling it level 1. I'm taking the level 1 here.
Alright, man, I believe you. Wait. Did you say the other raft spot? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the one by the coast item. That's
okay.
Oh, he's at the other. Okay, sorry, I got confused there for a second. Yeah. Level 1's going to be on the coast item side raft spot. We do see another cheap key shop though, so I don't think keys are going to be a problem.
Which is great. I mean, when they're not a problem, it feels like you get the any key immediately afterwards, or the magical key, as it were. Or ancient key. You know, I actually kind of forget what the official prefix is.
It's the animal key. There's only one name.
Animal key. Great point. Animal key. I'll take it. Yeah, we are going into 8. And you know what? Again, I don't hate this. I feel like at least one big dungeon deserves a trip in there. But without having seen 6 yet, and 7, I don't know if Sharky's been in 7. Or if that was just Starman. But yeah, I don't hate this call.
Yeah, you know, there's 2 items in here that you could possibly find in a staircase. Might be on the floor, you never know. Enemy set's looking pretty good so far. We haven't seen any of the Brotherhood of the Ropes lately, so it'll be interesting to see what dungeons they pop up into.
Yeah, I think the only one we saw so far is, I want to say it was 2. I wasn't paying that much attention, but there was very little representation from that Brotherhood out here.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll not make their presence felt as much as they normally do. I was watching one scene, I don't remember who was running, but I think we saw like 2 blue Wizrobes in the entire seed, and it was just like the best thing ever.
That sounds like a perfect seed in my opinion. The blue Wizrobes, like, there's a few different schools of thought out here. You know, are you a person who likes them to be spawning out on the overworld? Are you someone who likes them in the dungeons? I personally like them in the overworld because it makes it harder to get around, for sure. But you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to stop you from getting a Triforce or an important item.
Yeah, you know, I was watching Shaddy one night, and he was giving us a little Wizrobe tutorial about in dungeons where you should stand to kind of force them to spawn in different spots. And ever since he did that and I put it into practice, I'm not as fearful of the Wizrobes in the dungeon anymore.
Oh, they still petrify me, and the big concern too is if they're in the overworld, they're on the overworld. If they're in the dungeon, they are going to be guaranteed. Oh, that's unfortunate on Sharky's end. They're guaranteed to be in at least, or part of the enemy set of at least 2 dungeons, but they could be in as many as, I think, 5.
I think it's 5, yeah.
Yeah. Which could make for a very, very unfortunate seed.
Yeah, 2 HP red dark nuts on the overworld is nice too. Get some bombs off of these guys. Definitely just stand on that river spot and let them come to you. Alright, so Neon, we saw a clock. What does a clock tell us on a bomb count?
A clock tells us on a bomb count that we are at 3 on the global. And so what the global ends up being, for those who are not aware of the global, you can read all about it on the Z1R wiki, mind you. But for those who are not aware, on the global is a counter that goes from 1 to 10, and then it cycles back through 1. Technically, it goes 1 to 0, not the point. And bomb droppers, if you kill them on the 1 count, the 6 count, or the 8 count, then they have a chance to drop a bomb. Now, if you kill them on any other counts, they have a chance to drop something different. And so if you in that something different on the 3 count is a clock. So you now know at that point that your next 2 enemies you kill, if they are bomb droppers, they won't give you anything. But the enemy after that could drop a bomb if it's a bomb dropper. So it's always something to keep an eye out on. Now, keep in mind, the clock drops on 3 from a bomb dropper. The clock drops on 6 from anyone who's not a bomb dropper, who is in one of the groups that dropped the clock. So it's a grand old time.
Yeah, so on that one, he killed 2 Octoroks and then killed a blue one, got his bomb pack. So good bomb force by Starman there as we both go back to the continue screen. Sharky's still digging out this level 8. I think I'm done in here at this point. Which I think my rule is no more than 2 deaths in a dungeon if I don't have the red ring or, 7 or 8 hearts.
Yeah, which is very fair. I will actually throw out one more mechanic piece, which may or may not have been related to the to what we end up seeing on that, or maybe what we see at some point with the different bomb drops. That's the global count on when you can get it. You can still get a bomb drop by killing 10 enemies consecutively, and then killing the 10th enemy with a bomb. It doesn't matter if they are in the bomb dropping group or not. That 10th enemy will drop a bomb unless they're an enemy that doesn't drop an item whatsoever, in which case the next enemy that you kill will drop a bomb, assuming everything remains consecutive. So there's a couple ways to try to get your bombs.
That's why the 10th enemy is a da-bomb.
A fantastic translation.
If you keep going, you get 6 more, you get fairy, so that's always good too. Fairy forcing is like the next level that I need to take my game to.
That's one more fun side on that one is, the 16 count of consecutive kills is a fairy, though it's a little bit more restrictive on popping a fairy than it is for a bomb. And then after that, it resets the 10 count for the bomb, but it never can drop the fairy again as part of the consecutive count. Only bombs at that point in time until you get hit.
Speaking of getting hit, Sharky is back to the lobby. You got to be out here. Yeah, it's time to go find. I mean, we haven't seen 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, we got to get finding a better dungeon to be in right now. As Starman's going to pick up our first Triforce of the evening, level 5. Goodbye.
1 of 5, 20% of the way there, at least on Triforce pieces.
Whoa! No math in Z1R, dude.
So that's a different kind of stat.
We are a small portion away from having the requirement to get into level 9. That's how we get around that stuff.
I'll take it. So we get level 9 ahead of us, ideally in a little while. In the meantime, Starman is hanging out in 2, seeing what they can pull off. That red ring could potentially make 2 a not undesirable experience, but we'll see. Paul's voice do not make it fun.
I know I keep saying that we haven't seen 2, and I apologize that I haven't seen 2 because I was reading stats at that point in time. And I keep forgetting that we actually have, and you guys have seen way more of it than I have. But I like this play. I love being in 2 right now. Nice, easy enemy set. Get this thing cleaned up. Get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, 2 floor items is pretty nice here. It would be good. This is the room where there was a death earlier. But it would be pretty good over in 2 for us to see something, you know, bow, silver arrows. That would really make for some speed performance in the seed. This blue Wizrobe taking a few hits, but man, that red ring is really working out for Starman right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a white sword or a wand here as well. But yeah, definitely something to get this combat expedited would be pretty nice here.
You know, and even if it ended up being like hearts, right? The coast heart, which is going to cycle into one of our dungeons at this point, because we've seen all of our overworld items. Even in that scenario, it's not the worst in the world, because that can help set you up for mags, and that'll give a nice combat boon over in this. The only time it's not that great is, you know, say you end up picking up, like, I don't know, the wooden boomerang or some such like that maybe doesn't add a ton of value.
All right, so Neon, in a room like this where you got orange Wizrobes, pancakes, bunnies, chocolate chips, what's your strategy in a room like this?
Me? Take that locked door and leave.
What's your combat strategy in a room like this?
So, you got some challenges here, right? Your pulse voice that you're running into, you generally want to fight from the bottom and you want to fight from the side. Those blue Wizrobes that you're running into, you want to catch them on the half tile. The Zols I don't really care about in any way, and so you somehow have to go and put all of that together, find a way to not get hit, because those blue Wizrobes are going to do 2 hearts of damage normally, and then the beams from the orange ones are going to do 4. You got to make sure you keep dodging those orange Wizrobes. It's going to be a little bit of a mess. I think my strategy would have been take the door and leave. I wouldn't have gotten the compass, but hey, I guess it's full clearing for something.
All right, looks like Sharky's trying to get over to the coast island. He'll get his red ring, be super happy. I think I'm a Zol's, orange Wizrobe, blue Wizrobe, Pulse voice in that order on that screen.
It's it's fair. The Zol, I mean, the Zols are straightforward. You know, they're out of there. Don't worry about them. As long as you can kill the gels that pop out quickly, so they don't pop around and distract you. The orange Wizrobes, they're easy to dodge, but it's a lot of damage if you sidestep or you misstep. And we find our first item, by the way, in 2, and it is a heart. We should be finding one other valuable item in here.
All right, Sharky's on his way to probably almost definitely level 1 on the raft spot here. Very excited to get into a small dungeon here.
We're going to spend that key despite the fact that we have seen that Triforce. Oh my god, you actually hit it.
Bro, clip it, put it on the show. Let's go.
I think I said this last time we were talking together, and you made a prediction that was right. So, like, I guess I will just never question your facts again.
Dude, it's a Spider-Man syndrome. Everybody gets one. I've blown my one. You're not going to get anything else from me for the rest of the seed. I'm done.
I might as well just hang up the comms, call it a day. Starman picking up that Triforce and getting out of 2. I did not see a second item in 2. Oh, our tracker has pointed it out, though. It turns out it was the coast item. The coast heart, sorry. That was sitting there in 2, which means that Starman is potentially working towards Mag's territory and only a couple more hearts.
Yeah, you'd love to see that. On your second Triforce, you get 2 hearts. I'm not opposed to that, right? It kind of eliminates that dungeon from having to go back to later. Clean that thing up early, get it done with.
Ooh, turns out we found another Wizrobe dungeon. Level 1 is, well, that wasn't the best room in the world. That's a nice room, though. What a freebie on the floor for Sharky, picking up silvers in that room with the Gleeok. You know what, man? I would just up an A. I don't even want to fight that Gleeok. I want my hearts back to try to run through that Wizrobe room. Red ring or not, like, that is not a pretty room to be in. Yeah, there we go. We were, Anyways, point is, good news. That meant that we officially had a raft required seed, because not only did we find a dungeon, we found the silver arrows, which are a guaranteed requirement, because they are needed to beat Ganon. Oh, I know. There's some people in chat very excited about this, and there's at least one person in chat very unexcited about the necessary usage of this raft. Well, as a fun fact, what are the odds, the percentage chance that the raft is necessary in order to complete a seed? Well, that number is actually pretty low. I think it's something like, this is a stat we pulled the other day, something like a 2.8% chance. But you know what? You play plenty of these seeds like we do, it's gonna come up. And Starman finding 4 right now. That was over on, oh gosh, that was in the grave, right? At the bomb spot, I want to say. But this is yeah, I think it was. So Starman going through, we find a staircase pretty early on, so that might work out really well. We got the Triforce found pretty early on over on Sharky's side, not too terrible to go ahead and get to. And that's a staircase heart for Starman. But having that Triforce early, I mean, you're in one. One's got 2 items. Sharky doesn't know that the Coast Heart's over in 2, but we know that. So that means that we know that there's at least one more other item that has value in this one right now. So it's worth the dig. You got to go into that. And I say value. Like, it could be, I mean, you know, if you're an anti-boomerang person, for instance, it could be a boomerang that you don't like. Or you could go and you could find... I mean, the book is useful. Everything else is pretty much useful at this point. Alrighty. So we're going ahead and we're continuing to dig over in 1. Starman's doing work in over in 4. We find ourselves blocked at a tea room as a fun logistics requirement here. This tea room, you can do the same ladder clip that we saw earlier to go, yeah, exactly, just like Starman did, to go and to cross this tea room and get further into the dungeon, but that is not a logical progression requirement. As in, you do not have to be able to perform that clip in order to continue in this dungeon. The way that the randomizer works, it's just a nice little, let's call quality of life type thing to go through and make it a little bit more viable for people to go and make their way through the, through the dungeons and progress. By the way, Starman managed to pick up the any key over here in this 4. So keys weren't really feeling like a problem. We were certainly finding them. They were cheap in the stores, but you know what? We got the any key anyways. Or the animal key, as I was informed it was, and so we don't have to worry about that all too much. Alright, Sharky continued to do a little bit of poking around, passed over the compass because, hey, we know where the Triforce is, why would we go ahead and we do that? The heart's hanging out in the stair of 1, which means we got one more item. It is somewhere on the floor over here, as Starman picks that Triforce up out of 4. Item in Triforce, pretty quick 4 right there. Should be a quick run out of here. We are now 3 Triforces in. Starman's going to have to get into 1, right? And at this point in time, I mean, Starman's got the raft, so it's not like it's not a thing. But that check is going to have to happen to go ahead and find those silver arrows. There is one other major item that we have to find no matter what, and that is the bow. In the current flag set, the bow is not possible to be found in level 9. It has to be in levels 1 through 8. So even if Starman manages to pull off some pretty quick Triforces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and move on, if they don't find that bow relatively early on, they're still going to keep digging and digging and digging, going ahead and looking for those items.
Keyboard battery test 1, 2. Keyboard battery test 1, 2.
Oh, yeah, test successful.
All right, cool. So I thought you were just ignoring me and not letting me talk there for a second. Shout out to rechargeable batteries. Love you. Silver's on the floor in 1. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you've been out of it for a while. Man, Sharky, not a fan of this magical boomerang.
Sharky. Love it. Burn that thing to the ground. Don't ever pick that thing up. It is useless.
We gotta work on this, right? We gotta get Sharky into the camp of magical boomerang is best boomerang. It won't be.
I normally don't root for anybody, but I'm kind of leaning on Sharky's side a little bit tonight because he knows what's up with that thing. Just burn it to the ground.
Wow. By the way, Starman found 6 up on East Death Mountain on that
wow.
guarantee bomb spot.
Like, my sister's Trapper Keeper is staring me in the face right now with the color on that 6. Like, shout out to Lisa Frank. She somehow made it into Z1R.
Rex, I gotta tell you, man, that is first of all, that's a reference and a half. The Trapper Keeper. Also, second of all, I don't know what our normal demographic is for those who watch Z1R. It probably is of the right age group that they understand what the Trapper Keeper is, but man, that's a long time ago. Oof.
Can't have neon comms without a neon dungeon.
That I will take. 6 looking good. I bet you Starman wishes that they had the bow and some arrows right about now, though, because those guys are not fun when you have to go and burn them down with wood sword. In this maze room, which cannot drop an item, but it can push a block over in 6. And so, hey, let's go ahead and let's check it out and see what we find.
Yeah, super critical. Just keep your beams here. Don't get close. Just keep your distance. You just got to keep wearing them down. It's worth it. I think it's worth it.
I'm enjoying the commentary about Trapper Keepers over in chat right now. It's a good time of the people who recognize it.
Yeah, I know the demographic of this group. Lisa Frank, a childhood hero of all of ours. Could not tell you that was her name in the 80s, but can definitely tell you that's what it is now.
Is Lisa Frank still doing stuff?
Yeah, so I think she made a comeback. I think that she's doing she did some retro stuff recently. I don't know, a couple years ago.
That's great.
Yeah, good for her.
Well, play to nostalgia, right? I mean, it works out pretty well.
Yeah, one of the great Lisas from the 80s and 90s. You got Simpson, you got Lisa. Lisa, great name for the 80s and 90s.
Oh, which one was it? Lisa? Was it Lisa Tuttle over on Saved by the Bell?
Ooh, there you go. Lisa Talk, late night Lisa Talk with Stats, Facts, and Tracks.
All right, let's see. We're gonna do a little something here over in chat. We're just gonna put an update, so that people are aware of what a Trapper Keeper was. There it is.
Hello.
It's a different wiki, but it's still good.
A wiki is a wiki in my book, right? We got a Goma in 6. Could be blocking a Triforce. I see we have not picked that up yet, so that could be a potential problem for Starman. But there's plenty of other Triforces to get, but you kind of want to dig out whatever you see first.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's oh, never mind. There's our Triforce. You're on a 5er now. You do have the recorder, right? And as I said, why are you killing these guys? You want to dig the dungeon? Okay. As I said, like it's valuable to dig one of these bigger dungeons, but knowing that this is a Wizrobe dungeon right now, I think what I would do is I would probably go ahead and pop that Triforce, get out of here, record her back if I need to record her back. But I'd much rather go and spend my time and energy digging for items in a different dungeon at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably on the same boat, but seeing in a couple rooms isn't that bad when you got Red Ring. Oh, that's the flick fruit. Never mind. I thought that was going to lead somewhere else. Yeah. That's a tough call.
Yeah.
This is absolutely the last room I see, though. I'm not going any further than this.
Not after looking at that either.
Yeah, I believe that is what we call the Jawa ship, the Jawa truck.
The Sandcrawler.
The Sandcrawler, yeah.
Man, Jawas, great times.
I was watching the stream last night, like super late after the other match didn't get off, and this streamer was watching like VHS recording of the original trilogy on widescreen.
Wow.
And like playing like the commercials with it. It was awesome.
That sounds fantastic. Like I feel like Twitch should be not a fan of that, but you know what? I don't care. I'm a fan.
Oh, I was a total fan. I stayed up way later than I should have watching that. Of course, I'm a sucker for Star Wars, and a lot of people know this. Like we were in Discord voice the other night, and if you know what ASCII is, I was playing the ASCII Star Wars and blowing people's minds that was even a thing.
That's a really old... I mean, it's a great reference. That is a very old school reference, Rex.
Thank you. I am old. It's confirmed.
I mean, the fact that I remember it, I guess that says I am as well. That's disappointing now. Now I just feel real old.
Ooh, Scaramucci with the stand mixer. That is... I'm changing over to stand mixer.
I can work with that. We got Sharky picking up that Triforce right away. None of the hemming and hawing that we had over on Starman's side. Let's see what he does about this.
Answer another question in chat. I like to watch KOTOR, but I have never actually run it in my life. Despite getting a free copy of it, it's just not really my style of game.
That's fair. If it doesn't do it for you, it doesn't do it for you. I thought that thing was a gem when it came out. I bought an original Xbox back in I have to think for a second. I think I might have been in college, but I bought an original Xbox just to play that game.
That's awesome. Did you get a good price on it?
I mean, it was new at the time, so probably not. Like, this wasn't a classic time.
All right, so Sharky is out of 6. A great move for him, unless the bow is in there. But I think you're going to look at smaller dungeons at this point. Try to get a better bow out of 2 or 3 or possibly 4. Oh, we got the animal key out of 4. Let's go hype new batteries. No, getting caught up here.
It was getting the. I made sure to call it the animal key for you too. You know, while you were off the stream for a moment, but. Yeah, the key in 4 worked out. It's working out nice, right? The key problems have not really been problems, but getting the animal key early on, or early-ish on in this case, can really help your routing. It can also change your routing, and that routing change is sometimes good, sometimes bad. Like, you might think to yourself, I have the ability to open up every key door. That's obviously a good thing. Why would anyone ever call that bad? But on the same token, you're prone to now open every single key door that you see, and your opponent might route around them, knowing that they have a precious resource that they have to marshal, and that rerouting might put them where they need to be before you get to that spot. So I'm not calling it a bad thing by any means. I will always take it if I see it, but it just means that the world can change a little bit by the existence of that key in someone's inventory.
Yeah, sometimes getting focused into a direction ends up being better for you than getting all these possibilities opened into your world.
Yeah, sometimes the game just tells you where it wants you to go, and sometimes doesn't.
Oh, mag sighting. Let's go. Don't have enough to pick it up currently, though, but definitely want to be marking that down. We're going to get to try to pick that thing up with just 2 more hearts. So it's in that nice bomb spot with the armor. I don't even know what that screen would be called. What do you call that screen?
I call that screen north of the Grave Armos.
Bada bing. There we go.
I'm sure it has an official name, and Z Helper names like every single screen, which I think is a really cool thing, but I have no idea what it calls that because I'm a Z Tracker guy myself. Oh, and Sharky, where are we going, Sharky? You got no bombs. What are we looking to accomplish right now?
Yeah, probably looking for bomb droppers. Gets a nice screen of them here. Maybe he's got a count going. Haha!
Oh,
let's go.
Maybe he has. There we go. Worked out well. I won't question the Sharky again.
Needed some luck on that screen to have bomb droppers, but I think he had a count working there. So that's good for him. Gonna get these screens up here. Maybe we find like a 3 up here. 3 would be great for him.
That would work out really well, yeah. Three would work out great. It would work out extra great if it had a bow in it too. Oh, any roads. Oh, that's nice. There's one that goes all the way up into Death Mountain. That's cool. Oh,
that's less. That's less cool. Now we got 2 that go up to Death Mountain. My favorite thing is seeing where the any roads go. I don't know why, but it's cool to see how you can traverse around Hyrule without having to walk. Oh my god, dude! Seriously? One screen up. Oh, boo.
Oh, well, you know what? It is what it is.
I was hoping for the 4 corners of Hyrule, where you could get to every road on 4 different screens, but didn't quite luck out that way. God, where could this 3 be? Flute blocked?
I mean, we're not done with West Death Mountain. It could very well be flute blocked. And another stat: on average, not a guarantee. On average, 1 level per seed is blocked by an overworld blocking item. That is a recorder, a raft, a power bracelet, or a ladder. Now, in this case, we've seen one already, one blocked by the raft. So if we were playing the law of averages, I would probably hope, or at least plan, to check most of the overworld without looking for overworld blocking items in dungeons right now. But on the other hand, still could be, right? Averages are, there's tons of outliers.
It's funny, that's the exact question I was trying to get you to answer when my keyboard battery died. I was like, oh, you're just going to not let me talk, huh?
I could have just been ignoring you, Rex. You don't know. We
That would
get
have
the
been
default.
would have been funny. I'm all like tapping on the mic, seeing if like the thing like lit up. I'm like, oh, my battery in my keyboard's 100% dead.
We get the, and actually good call out in chat. Yeah, one and two are both overworld blocked, so we are technically ahead of the average right now. And
That's
it doesn't
us.
mean that 3 won't be.
We are always trying to beat the average.
Huh.
If you're not winning, you're losing. Beat that average.
This isn't a CC, this is a B or an A. We'll get there. Alright, we got Starman clearing out a room, and that's that whole conversation about how do you handle a room and what you do with that order. Well, we have pretty much the same style of room there, and it ain't great. But leaving and coming back will reset some of those enemies. So, another logistics point in play here is that there's an order by which enemies spawn in a room. If you leave and come back, the game knows how many enemies need to spawn, and so it goes and it takes a look at that order and spawns them in that order. So it doesn't necessarily match the enemies that were left alive in that room, it just matches how many there were in what the setup for that room actually is.
It doesn't necessarily always make it better, too. Sometimes you're going to respawn a room and it gets worse. But that was good. 2 orange Wizrobes. So you know the orange Wizrobe is your dominant enemy in this set. You like to see that if you want bombs. Give yourself a couple extra bomb drop chances.
Absolutely. There's our stair item in 6. It is a heart. Knowing that the coast heart is in 2, that tells us that we are looking for an item entirely on the ground. Not that we wouldn't have looked for it anyways, but still.
I'm picking that up on 8 hearts. I know that I've got, red ring, but 50 minutes in, and I need, well, I guess it only needs 1 more Triforce. You seen the Wizrobes? I'm probably picking that up.
I don't think he's seen mags yet, and so, like, I get it that he may be skipping it, but I'm just like you, man. I would grab that, because at this point, there are Wizrobes, right? The Wizrobes are not great. You've taken a few deaths already, and it's better to be safe than sorry, right? It makes a potion so much more valuable, right? Because that's just like another 3 hearts right there that you get from getting a red potion. I guess technically 2, but still.
Yeah, and we haven't not seen the white sword or a white sword hint. Having all this money to be able to buy a potion, I'm gonna probably try to do at least 1 mags check. Since I haven't even seen it yet, I'm probably gonna stumble upon it.
These orange Wizrobes taking a little bit of oomph to go ahead and take down.
Yeah, they definitely ate their Wheaties for breakfast this morning. But this, we got some possibilities of places we can go here. 6 is running kind of short on room, so we should be seeing an item here pretty soon. Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
Le Book literature on the ground. Pick that thing up, put it in your bookcase, and let's go buy some hints.
And speaking of hints, we actually just saw the second hint shop over on Sharky's screen, over in the forest underneath a burn bush, which they were a little pricey. But good news, we got a lot of money.
And those first ones were cheap too. They were 11, 14, and 42 or whatever. So I'm definitely beelining back towards those.
Yeah, and as we see, Starman not quite heading in that direction, but Starman's got some stuff to do first before we get there. Now, where is he off to? If he was going ahead and he was choosing to go for hints, he'd probably go to different.
He's going to 8. He's going to 8. Yeah, I've got to get those hints first before I go dig this thing out.
All right, so here is where I get nervous, right? Watching this as a commentator or watching this from our perspective is, let's say Starman goes into 8, and 8's a good option. There's 2 items on the ground. It's a little bit big. We know it's a little big, but there's 2 items, not on the ground. I'm sorry. There's 2 items in the dungeon in general. And we don't know what they are. Now, let's say he picks up the bow in here, which is not a terrible idea based on what he's seen. You're thinking, you want to look into 8 and you want to look into 1 for the bow, and he hasn't seen 1 as of yet. So say he finds a bow in here. He's probably not going to go digging for 1. He's probably going to go to 9 and go look for the silvers, and that's going to potentially put Starman a little behind compared to where Sharky is. If that happens, mind you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these level 9 or 5 Triforce seeds, they really make the mental part of this game so much more that you need to get refined, because there's so many different ways that it can play out by leaving stuff behind.
And that's a lot of what we're seeing in this tournament, and that's why the Swiss Weeks have been doing what they've been doing to work with seeding. Is there's a ton of people who are veterans, excellent players, great records, and they're getting disrupted during the Swiss Weeks here by people who maybe aren't quite as. Oh, and my goodness gracious! All right, I guess I wasn't trying to predict the bow, but there we are. There's that bow in 8, and now my fears for Starman may in fact be coming true. But yeah,
I guess it's time for us to just shut up now and.
All right.
Quit speculating. Starman's got the plan. He's getting it to a T, but he's got to get to 1. So this will be interesting.
I don't know if Starman's a gambler, right? In terms of, do you go to 9, do you not? But at this point, 5 tries. You're about an hour into the game. Once you get your Triforce out of 8, you got your bow. You know your silvers can be in there. I mean, it's a good perspective to have that 9 is where you want to go on this until 9 tells you no. Either with a hint or with and finding the other 2 items. Though good news, Starman does have the book. And by having the book, Starman can see the 3 hints that will be in 9. And of those 3 hints, we have 4 potential options. One that tells you where the kidnapped is, one that tells you where the beast is, one that tells you if the silvers are in 9, and if they are, what quadrant they're in, and one that will go ahead and tell you who is guarding the compass. We may not get that silver hint shuffled in there, because only 3 out of those 4 will make an appearance.
Plenty of seed left here. Be excited to see what 9 holds for us. 9 lately has been doing some very tricky things, so just gotta stay strapped in and let this thing play out how it may.
It's true. We've been seeing some fairly interesting variations in 9 too over this seed. We've been ranging all the way up from the very large 64 room full block 9 down to the, oh gosh, this is off the top of my head, I want to say 46 room 9 being the smallest one that we've seen so far. That might be slightly incorrect, however. But it's a little, it's been all over the place by a decent amount.
I'm not. Oh god, this is like the whole. Do I dig the dungeon that I'm in, or do I go try to find 1 or 3 to try to get a maybe quicker chance at finding a Triforce? We still don't know where 3 is. Like, where the heck is 3 at? 3's doing a great hiding job.
We still missed a few spots over in DM, so it's possible it's there. Could be that we have to find a power bracelet somewhere. It could be under one of those spots. I think we haven't seen the coast yet. I mean, there's the south coast. There's a handful of spots that could be potentially in the way right now for 3. If in the and by the way, there's our bait blocks. We don't have to worry about it going and being necessary or stealing any of the hints over in 9. But I would go and do the dig, right? I would go and find the Triforce in the one that you're in, rather than look all over the overworld, not knowing whether anything is going to be overworld blocked.
He's looking for silvers in here. He's not going to come back to 8. He says, "I'm done in 8. I'm going to pull everything out of here that I can. We're not coming back here."
That's a play. That is sure a play. Oh yeah, he's going to get that.
Nope,
Triforce.
He's out. He's like, nope, Dippin' Dots, no map. There's better places for me to be.
Yeah. And again, having that recorder, I mean, they're close enough to 8 anyways from the start screen, but having that recorder, they can come back whenever they want to, right? If it turns out that the silvers don't end up in 9. So with 5 Triforces, I'm going to assume that Starman is now making his way over to, I believe it was in the forest.
Yep, I think this is definitely the play. We know it is not the correct play, but it's statistically the best play, right? There's so much outstanding. You have the book. You're just hoping that the hint for the silvers isn't in like the 4th or 5th last room that you see, like happened to somebody last night. But you're hoping for a nice early hint on the silvers, or go buy those hints, right? I mean, you got the money, you might as well go buy those hints. You saw them; they were cheap.
Yeah, they're actually really close to 9 too. They're only a few screens north of where 9 is. Like, I think I actually would go hints first and then go 9, just to make sure that there isn't anything for Silver Arrow.
Yeah, because if you get the hint for the Silver Arrows, then you got to keep clearing overworld spots. It's not that much of time out of your way, and they're cheap.
Well, either way, we are in 9, so let's see if we can't pop over to Starman's audio and see if we hear that roar coming up at any point in time. The roar that, of course, tells us where Ganon is in any of the cardinal directions. Now, on the worst case scenario, let's say that we know what the worst case scenario is, and that's that Starman goes in here looking for silvers and it takes a long time. But on the plus side, Starman's at least going to get some exploration done over in this 9. Get an opportunity to find some stuff. May even find Ganon and Zelda before they make a choice.
You know, one of the best things that he's going to find is it's not going to be the power bracelet. So it could be the wand, the white sword, the red candle, or the superior boomerang. So you're really hoping for like a wand boomerang or white sword boomerang combo right here.
Yeah, and just a quick note on that one. I know you mentioned the superior boomerang, but unfortunately it can't be. We already found that in 1. But that's cool. There's another boomerang that we could find in here if necessary. By the way, the map in 9, that's good.
I think you might be mistaken. I think that we burned the inferior boomerang in 1, and the nice yellow-colored one is sitting somewhere around here.
Well, we did mention that 9s are looking a little bit strange these days, right? And here, in fact, is one of those strange-looking 9s right now. Kind of small. Missing the entire right-hand column, almost all of the left-hand column. Mags check at 10, by the way. Did not pan out for Sharky, but, you know, smart to check.
That's a 6-room southwest corner. Like, getting the southwest corner hit would be huge for, like, Zelda. Like, a Zelda in the southwest, you'd love to see that.
And as a piece of data for people out there, when we get those hints, we get something like the kidnapped awaits in the southwest of the skull or the northeast or something like that. It's one of the 4 quadrants. The map being an 8x8 grid, so 64 total rooms. That means that effectively each of those quadrants is a 4x4 grid, so that's 16 total rooms that it could potentially be in. So when you hear that, you get to take a look at that. And even if those aren't really rooms, like what Rex was just saying, there's not really 16 possible rooms in the southwest corner. So that makes it even easier. Oh, by the way, hi, Ganon.
Bye, Ganon. Time to keep it pushing. We got the animal key. We got a key door here. Let's keep going up. Nice staircase. Oh, guarded by the Patra.
Now, on the plus side, I mean, the exploration is going to be huge. Going ahead and actually seeing where Ganon is. We don't know if Zelda's attached to that Ganon room in any way. Could be. But either way, you know, we got Ganon. We know what's going on there. We got Sharky in 7. Bombing the Dig Dogger. And that Dig Dogger... Well, I don't know. We're going to find out if it actually means anything over here. But right now, we know that the bow isn't here. The silvers aren't here. Sharky's going to be poking around in the 7. Might get an easy Triforce, which would be nice. But might also spend a lot of time looking for something that's not going to be bringing a lot of value to him.
Yeah, best case scenario for Sharky is definitely wand, white sword, and 7. Well, there's the Triforce. Ah, boy, this is tough.
Hate it.
With only 2 Triforces though, and needing the bow, I'd probably take it 2 and come back here later with that flute like you were talking about.
I mean, at this stage, like, and again, this is just from our perspective from the commentary booth where we get to see so much more. But for me, that's an absolute take that and leave. 7 is telling you I'd like you to leave. And now whether it's telling you that because, like, you know, it doesn't want you to get something, or it does, it's a different conversation.
Okay,
by the way,
Princess kind of behind Ganon.
Yeah. We may have to kill Ganon to actually get to her. That is a distinct possibility. I mean, we obviously have to kill him to get to her, but, like, to follow the path.
Yeah. Have I said lately how much I hate bubbles? I hate them. Do not like them.
They're not the best. Thankfully, we are utilizing the flag set that we are utilizing in this tournament, where second quest enemies cannot make an appearance. Now, there's not a lot of enemies that are unique to second quest. There are some like the fully black keys that are in existence, the Stalfos that actually shoot sword beams, but the big one are those red and pinkish, or red, the red and blue bubbles out there that will actually take away your sword, and you have to go tap another one to get it back.
How dare you disrespect and not mention super ropes?
Oh my goodness, the super ropes! I did forget about them.
One of my favorite enemies. I love super ropes. They're so disco.
They are disco. They look great. They are just a pain to have to fight sometimes. And incidentally, welcome everybody from Zelda Distance. I'm sure I mispronounced that, but welcome from that stream over there. Appreciate the raid.
I think that's Nissan, like a Nissan truck.
Zelda Nissan, like a Datsun when you're talking about a Nissan. But yes, love a good Nissan.
Yeah, Nissans, they're great. I had a Nissan Pathfinder in high school. Good car. Actually, technically, it was a Nissan, but it had an Isuzu engine in it. And there's a word you probably haven't heard in the last 20 years, Isuzu.
I know, right? Well, look at all these references you got back from in the day there, and instantly Chad has picked up on it too. But that is 2 muggers we have seen now in 9, so that book is not really going to be paying dividends because we've lost 2 of our hints.
Do you know where that book may pay dividends at?
Where might it?
In the hint shop, that is 11 and 14 rupees, and another one for 40.
Wow, what a great idea! Hey, by the way, Rex, I don't know if you saw that, but Sharky picked up the bomb upgrade in level 7, and oh my goodness gracious,
That's
Sharky's
18.
got a lot of bombs.
That is a lot of bombs. Love it. I saw a 20 bomb seed today as well.
That's absolutely crazy. I love that. Bombs are a tough thing to come by, and with the by the way the current flag set, the bomb droppers, or sorry, the bomb sellers. Oh, that's 1 item in 9. Okay, Starman has 50% of what they need. Technically speaking, we probably want to leave, but I'm sorry. So the bomb sellers, or the upgrades, are in 5 and 7 in the vanilla game. And so those are the only levels you will see them in over in this particular flag set. We did not shuffle them around. So even though 7's not like, it's a biggish level, it's only got 1 item, it's generally not the friendliest, you're going to find a bomb seller in there, bomb upgrade.
All right, so here is a little nugget of fact for bomb upgrades. They can be in 5 or 7, or both in 7, but not both in 5.
That is true. It is uncommon to see that happen in this flag set, both in 7. But we have seen it.
Yeah, we ran the numbers on that, but that was like a whole month and a half ago. I don't remember. Was it like 25-75 split or something like that?
You know what? Gosh, I don't remember. That's a good one. I should
I
try
don't
to run
either.
that before we're done here. Let me actually see if I can pull that stat up while we're talking.
Let's go. I mean, you got plenty of time, right? Starman's got to get to 1. He doesn't have that knowledge, but we definitely do. He really needs to see the second item, and it could possibly be behind Ganon too, which would really throw a wrench in his exploration.
That would actually be crazy if that happened, and it's a real risk.
Wand huge though. You love getting the wand or the white sword out of here. It's going to save you some money. I mean, he came in here with 170 some rupees. He's blowing 70 of them. Spray him. Got to spray him. But you have to do that, right? The wood sword does 1 hit of damage. The wooden arrows do 2. So you got some pretty beefy enemies in here. You might as well be throwing your wood arrows around and killing them quicker. I mean, we are speedrunning. We're not doing this slow. We're trying to go fast. You got to go as fast as you can. Spray him is the answer to that for him.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And so, I mean, the damage is not different, but the convenience is very high. So making it completely worth it.
Especially with Lionels, right? You get that extra distance. Keep them between you and dying. Yeah, so I like the play here. He's got enough money to go see the hints. So, you know, you have to go to the hints after here. Oh, just leaving a Ron Gant on the floor. I mean, I'm picking that thing up. I need. Oh, here we go. We have our silvers hint. Let's see where he goes.
Only a 1 in 4 shot of finding that, right? Because it was only 1 old man left, but fantastic. Found, got the information needed. Time to get the heck out.
I believe he's not going towards the hint. I think he's going to the coast.
I mean, I don't know. There's still a lot of spots he has to look for. I think he's feeling pretty confident that what he's found so far, he knows everything that's in there. So it's time for us to go find 1 or 3, because I believe those are the last 2 that Starman has missing.
Yeah, hasn't seen 1 or 3. Definitely has been in 7. But why go dig dungeons when you can possibly get the knowledge of exactly where they're at? You don't need Triforces. You just need items and take the roadmap. Because you could get a hint that says power bracelets in 3. Then you're like, well, cool. Don't have to look at 3. Finds the expensive hints. Not going to get the help
Super
here.
Expensive. Well, very, very expensive. We just found out that the boomerang is in 3, and then the magical boomerang, which we already knew was in 1, and now we're out of cash for the other hints.
We could still go buy one of the other hints. That is the silver hint. It's the first one in that other shop. Ugh.
That one isn't going to do it for you there.
The pity rupee.
Like, right now, what we really need is a sail over the water to find the silver arrow. Like, that'd be the game changer for Starman.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great hint.
That's a tough room for Sharky over there. Not having the bow, basically just locked in there. Nothing much you can do.
Well, now we are not able to get the hits because we have hit the mugger. The door repair has taken all of our money. Coast is not panning out.
Oh no, Starman, keep going up the coast. Go to the raft spot. Cheap bombs, by the way, over there. It's 6 rupees.
I know you. Not really needed. Great bomb droppers on the overworld, but good for a backup. Right by 9 too. So, just these little things you got to keep in your mind. There's so much that you have to keep in your thoughts while you run this game. It's crazy. If you have never tried it, I would say pop over to the wiki, get this thing downloaded, give it a shot, and see what these runners go through. Just on a casual playthrough of a rando seed.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources not only to help you out there in terms of what to think about and what to look for, but there's also trackers. And I don't mean trackers like our fantastic Nochibato who's tracking for us this evening, but I mean trackers like the digital trackers out there. Z-Helper and Z-Tracker are the 2 most popular ones, but there's some other smaller ones in play. People write them down on graph paper, and just to keep track of everything. At the end of it all, if you're not paying attention, you're not tracking where things end up on this overworld and in these dungeons, you're at risk of going ahead and getting losing something on this overworld.
I think if you're an emo tracker, there's an emo tracker as well. If you like to use that program, I use that for some other randos as well. But yeah, I mean the tracker, the people who have built these trackers have just made probably the best resources that we have is the trackers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, nice reverse clip by Sharky. Let's go. Gets him into the heart. Pick it up. I mean, we're in Mag's territory, right? Might as well pick it up and let's go see if we can increase our combat.
Yeah, Sharky already did a check for Mags, so we know he's thinking Mags. It's just now that we have that extra heart, we're in a much better spot for it. There's 3, incidentally. It was one of those spots that we didn't quite get to up on West Death Mountain.
Yeah, Sharky ran out of bombs while he was up there. Had a couple of those screens left. Starman's leaving 3?
That's okay. He got the hint.
Bombs.
He got the hint that the boomerang was in there, so he doesn't care.
Thank you.
So at this point, he's thinking 1 or 7, and by the way he's digging, he's looking for 1.
He's thinking way more than I'm thinking. I'm pretty clocked out for the evening.
It is late.
It is late. It's the weekend. So we're here to have fun. Help these guys have fun. We're doing some seeding right now for the low roll bracket for these guys. As a former low roll bracket participant, played in the SGL one last year. Came in runner up. Shout out to Malkier for taking me down there. Super fun. The more that you can play, gets more practice in. Is the best. There's nothing like getting those race reps, and the only way to really get better at this game is to run seeds and play people better than you. And just get better.
Yeah, that's spot on. By the way, we found our. What are you doing, Sharky? What are you
doing? Pick it up.
back to the you
Go
can't
back.
guarantee max.
Oh, got to go reset his flame so we could set it on fire.
Oh my!
Okay,
The stress level was very high for a moment.
very high. But Sharky knows where the Triforce is. He's gonna pick it up. That leads him 2 more that he needs to get. He hasn't seen 2 yet, so he gets the 2 hearts out of 2, and then if he can get to 8, because he knows where 8's at too, he might be able to shorten the gap here.
Yeah, and I think I do think he's seen 2 actually. I think he ended up dying in there, and that's why he left to a Wizard. And Chad has pointed out, which is absolutely correct, is there's only 2 items that are now left for us to find: the power bracelet and the red candle. We know important items cannot be in 9, which means the power bracelet cannot be in 9. And because of that, we know that it has to be in 8, and the red candle has to be in 9. Those are our remaining items.
I like having a nice, completely filled out tracker. It just makes me feel good.
It really does. Like, I'm a huge fan too.
Like, I'm not at the point where I'm going to go run the seed and find out what the other items were. Sometimes I've done that, though. Sometimes I've gone in and got the map out of 9 just so we could see the map if it was super funky. Because sometimes I can't let it go.
Oh, yeah. It's a real bother sometimes, especially when you have, like, 4 items. You find, like, the silvers and the bow early, and then that's just really it. By the way, Starman in 7. Starman's gonna dig this 7. He still has.
Sharky's going to 8. Sharky's going to 8. Let's go. Because we know the bow's like pretty easy to find in here too.
Yeah, it really was not that bad. Game is changing. And yeah, comment in chat. You know, it's actually a couple comments in chat. Number 1, yeah, save your rupees and buy hints. We've been extolling the virtue,
preaching, the absolute fabulousness of hints in this seed all evening. They're cheap. They're cheap.
Yeah, got to go ahead and get some of those hints over on Starman's side. And the second part that was popping up in there is, yeah, Starman did get the hint that Aquamentus has the magical boomerang, which means there's 1 item in 1 that he doesn't know about, and there's 2 items in there's 1 item in 7 that he doesn't know about, and 1 item in 8 he doesn't know about. Technically, 1 would be probably the better route, but it's an even set of shot, so to speak, from his perspective. And he doesn't know where 1 is.
Yeah, so, you go with the dungeon, you know. Yeah. You know, you brought her to the dance earlier. You got to dance with her a couple times before you go look for another partner. We know it's not this room. I think we found the heart pretty early in the 7, and then that white sword was very late for Sharky.
Very deep, yeah. Sharky was way past the Triforce at that point.
Sharky did not have wand, though, so Starman will expedite this clearing of level 7.
Until we run into the Wizrobes where the wand does nothing.
Yeah, and Starman did not have white sword when he was an 8, so Sharky's going to make up ground on this 8 as well. So this thing is not over.
No, and not by a long shot. Now, having the bow and arrow is going to... that's going to absolutely... well, it's not really. They don't need that. It's no big deal. The bow and arrow is going to help for the Paul's voice that are hanging out in there, but turns out leaving the room and cycling your enemies got rid of the Paul's voice anyway, so who cares?
Yep, and so, yeah, you're right. I mean, the bow and arrows, the wand, not going to help you too much in this room. Those 13 bombs, though, those extra bombs definitely will help you.
Yeah, well, we are seeing Sharky have added over on his screen, playing with the Aquamentus over here. Seeing if that's going to be any sort of value over in that room. It will not be. Ooh, Fun Manhandla in the horizontal shoot room.
It has some shuttery properties to it.
Well, that is true. Going for a dig in the upper section of 7. I believe that did not pay off, but I actually forget exactly what room that white sword was in.
I love that the old man is asking what the world record for the seed is, and we're going to find out tonight. We are in the world record race for this specific seed as we speak.
Yep, with these flags and the fact that the seeds are all randomized and the randomization of generating them in the first place, the odds of the same seed ever being run twice is pretty darn low, right? So we are going to get some real interesting outcomes here.
Heck, Brian, they're both on world record pace right now. Math is fun.
Alright, that was an important fairy to go pick up there if you didn't get that. Things were not looking necessarily the best for Starman, but that is A-okay. As Sharky is poking around looking for that bow that we have over here. If I remember correctly, it was a pretty straightforward room too that the bow was in. Like it was just Keese were the only enemy, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'm going to trust you on that.
Yeah.
Sharky sees the Triforce. I'm marking that, right? I'm taking the heart refill and I'm getting out of here if the item is close to that Triforce.
Yeah, I think what Starman ended up doing was clear the room just like Sharky did, found out it didn't push just like Sharky did, went there, got the Triforce, and then went back into 8 to go do some more digging. Sharky, that's not a bad plan of attack. Why don't you go do exactly like that?
I'm still taking a little bit of time off. He absolutely needs this Triforce because he's only got the 3. So this will get him to that 4th one. Yeah, I think that's what happened is he picked it up and he came back in and found that bow pretty close afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't that far from start.
Yeah, and I think because they both didn't have the any key when they came in here, the pathing really is going to be similar.
Well, Starman's doing the churns with the rest of 7. He may, I mean, the white sword's a nice thing to find, do not get me wrong, but at this stage of the game, I mean, there's going to be nothing but grump to be had when he sees that. May see another person burning the white sword.
Was the 8 the stand mixer, or was that 7? What was 8? Was 8 the... I'm trying to remember what the shape of 8 looked like.
I think that was the stand mixer. The sewing machine was also thrown out as an idea in there too. Oh, 6, it was 6. Oh man, look at people in chat keeping track of these things, especially our fantastic tracker.
That's why we keep chat around. I mean, we're gonna say all of the dumb stuff, and then they're gonna correct us, and it's the nature of the environment.
Yeah, and to be fair, chat, like Rex and I would be having this exact same conversation whether or not chat was here and this was being restreamed. So having you here to go ahead and add this information and add this context and keep us honest is great. By the way, Sharky picked up that Triforce and has left.
Yes, the Trapper Keeper Lisa Frank colored 6. That's what it was.
Sharky, I know you're heading to 2-man, but like I would really like you to go back into 8, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that's a tough leave with 2 items in there that you have not seen. I mean, getting the 2 extra hearts really doesn't help you here, right? I mean, it could help you get to Mags, but Mags is so far away at this point. I'm not going back up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's viable, but yeah, it'll help in terms of that, and it depends on what the rest of this, this run looks like. How long Starman's going around digging, looking other places, how long it takes him to go ahead and find one. You could end up getting a payout on those mags, but
I mean,
the odds
you
high.
could clear this 2, go back to 8, grab the bow, take the any road back to Death Mountain, check the mags,
which spot on Death
whistle. Mountain? Well, there's 3 of them to pick from. You can take one. You could literally walk into any one of those staircases and be where you wanted to be, and then you could whistle back towards level 9. Sharky's looking for the bow. He does not know where the bow is, so he has not cleared 2. He also needs the Triforce, right? He needs a Triforce out of 2. This is actually probably a good thought process on him, right? He knows there's 1 item in here. He only needs 1 more Triforce. It's a smaller dungeon. I'm actually on board with this 2 dig from him. Yeah,
that can work out, right? Like I know you were in 8 and you saw a whole bunch of 8, but at the end of it all, no matter how you slice it, he has to return to 2. Or, from his perspective, he has to return to 2. So you might as well do it now and go back at a later point.
Sometimes you see every room of 8 except for 3 of them on the end of a Chevy block, and you just go to 9 and clear all of 9 out until you get the hint for for silvers being an 8. I mean, that happens in seeds sometimes, and you just never know.
I've seen that happen exactly one time, and I definitely wasn't yelling at that person to go back to that 8 at any point. But it happens.
Yeah, as commentators, you never want to yell at runners. It's never good. As Starman does finally see that staircase heart in 7. I think that the sword's to the right, correct? He's got to go
so.
up and right. This, yeah, this is a very I cannot preach the importance of having the book and getting the hints in this flag set. They are just so helpful, not to tell you where things are, more so to eliminate where things aren't, that would indeed probably tell you where it is.
I wonder, failing the 7 right now, knowing that the 1 is just an MIA on your list, like, is that now going to start to show up on Starman's to-do list? Go take a look at those hints. Because I would be kicking myself if there was a hint that was in there that said, oh, and Aquamentus awaits with the silver arrow.
I mean, the other option is you go back to 8 and dig out the power bracelet and start checking power bracelet spots. I mean, that could be creeping in your mind as well. Yeah.
Especially when you're looking, it's a 5 Triforce seed, and you're looking at it and you see an hour 24 on the clock. Like, you're gonna feel behind at this stage.
You're hearing the footsteps in your headset. Where is Sharky? What is he doing? What does he have that I don't have? And I would probably say that this raft spot he's looking for, besides the forgotten spot, is probably the second most commonly misplaced or I don't want to say forgotten, but I'm going to say forgotten spot on the map, right? I mean, how often do you go up there?
Oh yeah, almost never, unless I have to go up there for something, or in case I've just done the pickup over on the coast at the ladder spot. Like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Sharky, it's getting tough on keys, man. Your resources are getting a little bit thin, and well, there's the other heart. Is that the other heart? I think that is. That's 2 for Sharky now.
Yes,
yep.
he's got the 2 hearts. I mean, you go back to 8, right? You don't have any of the other dungeons. You got to dig what you know. It's right there. You got to go back there.
Yeah, and where do we end up seeing 4? That was up at the grave, right? Like, Sharky has seen 4. I'm not saying he needs to go back into 4. It is what it is. But the any key could really be beneficial at this stage of the game.
Yeah, animal key always a benefit. As Starman does find his Richard's sword there. So we are going hunting for 1, I guess. I would be buying those hints. You have the money again. Go buy those hints.
Where are we going, Starman? I get we're clear on the spot. That's good. Going west, that's less good. Going back east, better.
All right, so Sharky's popped back into 5. We know the ladder's in here, so this is really where you're starting to fret. Hey, what did I? Maybe he thinks he mismarked something. I mean, you just saw the open staircase. Yeah, this is might be panic mode.
Maybe he mistracked, but yeah, panic is probably more likely in this stage. I mean, we got the letter. We know that the letter was in here. If we tracked it right, we know it is. You don't need the Triforce here in 5, because you already got your 5 Triforces. You've seen that. Like, there's nothing for you here, Sharky, unless you mismarked. And now he's out of keys. We got Starman checking out a bunch of different recorder spots right now. The desert,
Yeah, just popped over on his screen. He doesn't have a mismark here, so this is definitely a kind of a panic thing. Hopefully he checks out his tracker and says, "Oh man, I've already been here, got everything." Maybe he's making the play for. No, I think he's got the heart in here too. I mean, there's just nothing in here.
All right, Starman knows it's raft time.
Yeah.
But not that one. 'Cause, 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 Ooh, lucky, lucky. Those blue dark nuts can go ahead and send you right on back to where you came from, but not this time around, which is nice.
We got a good call out on level 5, the catcher's chest protector in baseball season. Hashtag baseball season. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen.
That is true. We are really getting there.
Man, Starman has so much left that he hasn't checked, and absolutely like not his fault, right? I mean, he did a really good job of finding everything that he needed to find. He just never stumbled upon level 1 that he needs. And being over on that coast, like you got to check it if you got the raft anytime you're over there. I think,
and especially knowing, and not to belabor it, but if you're over in that area, anyways, for the hints, you might as well check that spot.
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff over there. Starting with the hints to get you pointed in the right direction. I am not a huge hint fan in other flags because you got to go to every single dungeon anyways. But if you don't have to go to every dungeon, the hints are just going to expedite telling you where you need to go.
Yeah, Sharky, man. Did he mistrack the amount of Triforces required to get in? Is that maybe where our problem is?
Oh boy. So I said it earlier, and going back into 8 to dig the power bracelet. It is. We are at that point. So we're going to have a little bit of extra time on our hands. Everybody, please, I would like to know who your favorite Major League Baseball team is. Put it in the chats. Some good information here. I would like to know.
You know what? If you're interested in that type of information, I can give you the easy answer, right? Like, who is the best baseball? It's the Red Sox, right? I assume that you are also in agreement there, Rex. That's the
So there is that one team that plays in a minor league baseball stadium in the majors that you like, and that's cool. But we all know the best team in the best stadium is the San Diego Padres. LFGSD, baby. Let's go.
I actually would like to go back a second here. What is wrong with Fenway? Fenway is a fantastic stadium, historic, right? It's that and Wrigley Field are some of the best ones you can find out there.
Wrigley Field is a giant. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get us in trouble. But I've been to Wrigley Field. It smells like one thing, and it's pretty much recycled old style. But yeah, Fenway is like on half a city block. Like, how can you even play? That's like a backyard baseball game.
I genuinely don't know how to respond to you on this one, Rex. My heart, I think, broke a little bit.
I'm actually not. I'm not against the Red Sox. I'm totally cool. I used to have a cool Red Sox hat when I was in my youth that I wore a lot.
I got as a fun story, as a Red Sox fan, at one point in time, I was even able to go out on the field at Fenway Park during batting practice and have them hit some balls to me that I could field. That was a pretty cool thing to do one time.
That sounds awesome.
It was, yeah.
My growing up, my dad lived outside of Seattle, so we used to go to Mariners games a lot when I was a kid. So I got to see Randy and Junior and Harold Reynolds, who my dad went to high school with.
Oh wow!
Yeah, play in those super great late '90s teams. So,
oh man, the late '90s teams were great.
Dave Buhner, Edgar Martinez, a lot of good names.
All right, we're getting a hint that Starman already knows. Benefit of having the book, I suppose, but already aware of that. If
Sharky would love that hint.
Yeah.
Go back to 8, get the hint that you're already there.
Sharky's gonna go to 6 and get that book first. This is oh my goodness, we're back in 5. Why are we back in 5?
I don't have an answer to that.
Was there a mags check that we missed and that he's looking for another heart or something? I think he even got the heart out of 5.
I'm pretty sure I checked the tracker. He has the heart and the ladder out of here, so I don't know. I don't have an answer to this.
Is it the bomb upgrade? I think he got the bomb upgrade too.
He got the one. I mean, he's got kind of low rupees. He doesn't have arrows. He might have got the other one.
Yeah, that's how he got up to the 18. I think is he picked up 2 of the bomb upgrades.
Big gravy. Yeah, there's just no. We're just burning keys at this point. Starman still haven't found the map at 8. I mean, he needs to go by the hints. I think that's what we agreed on. What he needs to do first, but second, he needs to find the map here to figure out where he's going, because he's at 0 bombs too, because he doesn't know where to bomb at. Everything's a void at this point.
Now, we have some commentary in chat vis-a-vis some coloring, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, did you refer to this as lavender over here on the level 5? Because I even feel like maybe we're feeling even periwinkle these days.
Ooh, I might switch to at least Frank Periwinkle here as well. Our resident color palette expert Tetra is here in chat, so whatever she says, I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that's basically how I feel here as well. We're seeing the
lilac here. Golden Girl with the lilac. I'm switching over to lilac.
I was wrong on Periwinkle, though. By the way, I've been informed.
Oh, Periwinkle's on Starman's in Periwinkle, right? It's a blue.
Listen, I think in my life there's like 9 colors, right? Whatever the kid has in her basic Crayola box is about all I think for these words. So I love looking at them, but man, I don't have the words for them.
As long as we don't see a goldenrod, that was like my least favorite Crayola color as a kid. Like, what did you use to color? Like, C-3PO is the only goldenrod thing I would ever color.
Oh, actually, I think for your race yesterday, you had like 3 goldenrod levels. It was fantastic. And as a fun fact, one of the only colors that I do think is interesting, and I encourage people to Google this and take a look at it, is the color magenta, because the color magenta does not exist. You've seen it, you've looked at it, and you've thought to yourself, man, that's magenta? Nope. It's not real.
Is that like a Mandela kind of thing, or?
So it's a, well, we're watching some work go on here, and I might get the science slightly wrong, so apologies, guys. But there's, generally speaking, when you see colors of 2 different wavelengths, your brain goes ahead and merges them together into one. So if you see something that's like, what is it, like a blue and a yellow, you might potentially see a green or a red and a blue, different wavelengths together, it comes into a purple. It's a whole bunch of light stuff. It's great. It's similar to colors when you mix like paints and inks and whatnot, but not exactly the same. But not the point. Magenta, in theory, would be the mixture of red and green, red and blue, from opposite ends of the spectrum. There's no spot that's really like easily between them other than green, but it's not green. Your brain knows it's not green, and we've been trained to think that green is generally a pretty good color, right? Like it's nature, it's stuff that your body needs to survive. So everybody looks at that mixture knowing it's not the green wavelength, even though it would normally present as green. Your brain abstracts that out and turns it into a different color. And that's what magenta actually represents. It should theoretically be green, but our heads say this is not green and can't be green. So instead you get magenta.
I'm a big, watcher of crazy conspiracy theory YouTube kind of stuff. I've watched 20 hours about the Fermi paradox, which is,
oh yeah,
if aliens are out there, why haven't we seen them? But going back to colors, I watched this one where this guy was like, everything in existence is black because color is a refraction of the light. So it's just the refraction of what is coming off of the black object, or the object is absence of color. And that blew my mind when I heard that.
And there's some real cool people out there doing some interesting things with paints and whatnot to make the most unbelievable absolute black that you can put onto an object, ignoring the people doing that, just the outcome of it. There's been some pretty cool stuff in that regards, and I don't think anybody's ever been able to make something that's so perfectly black that that it actually is black, I guess, right? Like fully black.
Yeah, it can't be. It's the absence of color. Okay, I got to get everybody caught up in chat here. Sharky is in level 5. He has no need to be in here. Nothing he wants is in here. The PB is inconsequential. It will not give us anything. The silvers are in 1, which Starman needs to go to the other raft spot to get. Sharky needs to go to level 8 to find the bow. 8 is right by start. He's already been in there. So we're kind of like in a... These guys need to go anywhere else but here to get them in the right, direction. But for some reason, Sharky's not going, looking in a different dungeon, and Starman is forgetting about the raft spot that has what he needs. And there is our catch up back to Color Talk.
And even taking a peek here, so I'm gonna go peek on the side over at Starman's map that he has. And right now, aside from the PB spots, it's the only things he's got left open. He's got unmarked a couple bomb spots that we know he checked, right? So he probably knows in his head that he checked them as well. And the raft spot. That's it. That's what we have left on the overworld, minus obviously the power bracelet spots. So gotta really be thinking.
Sharky's going to 8. Sharky's going to 8.
Oh,
he's making his way back
Sharky.
to 8. Let's go, Sharky. Sharky's whistling away from 8. Sharky's whistling away from 8.
I think, by the way, that room that Starman was in just now, this room, I feel like this is the bow room right here. So we'll keep an eye out. It's lower and it's in the dash column. Sharky, where are we going, man?
We're going to 8.
We're going to 8!
We were one screen above it, but we're back at 8. Good news for Sharky. This is where he needs to be. You gotta go left, right? It's been so long, I don't remember. But he's got to stay at this lower level.
It's the lower. I think it's the lower section under the dash. So he's got to make his way a little bit to the right side. Though to be fair, it's a little hard to tell with his color palette where exactly he is in that mini map right there.
I think the map might be in this room. No. I mean, the map's got to be in this lower left-hand portion, right? I mean, map's going to be huge for him.
Yeah. We haven't seen it, but it's really going to help things. Starman just going around bombing stuff at this point.
Well, you got 11 bombs. You might as well, lay them down. And it's just this map in 8 is playing the best hide and seek it's ever played.
It's a shame that this level 8 is as required as it is. Now, chat bringing up some very scary things. A single transport room to actually get to the map. Oof. Technically possible, just not pleasant. Now, did Starman find the heart on the ground here? I'm actually going to go check Starman's tracker. Yeah, it looks like Starman has found the heart on the ground here, so he knows he's looking for something that's in a staircase at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I just hope it's not that one room you thought it was, and he hopefully didn't mismark that he cleared that already.
That room that I was thinking was which I actually think is...
Sharky just walked through it, yeah.
I thought that was where we found the bow, but that might be misremembering, was all. I remember it being guarded by keys, but I didn't really remember the layout of the room.
Yeah, it could be different keys. They all look very similar.
Oh, chat confirms that was in fact the room with the bow, so yeah, there's
Okay. Speaking of similar looking birds, I guess bats aren't birds, they're... Oh god, what is a bat?
It's a mammal.
It's it's just a straight mammal? Okay.
Straight up mammal.
Reading this animal book with my son earlier, and we were reading about this one bird that lays its eggs with this other bird and forces it to take care of its offspring, despite it being like 3 times the size of the other bird. But the other bird is so dumb that it can't tell that the third or fourth chick that it hatched is so much bigger than the other one. It's so funny when we got to it.
Animal books are good. Like one of the benefits of having little ones around is you get to go through all those cool animal things that you learned as a kid, and then you forget because you don't apply them or use them in any way, unless I guess you go into the Audubon Society of bird. Anyways, You don't really see it that often, but then you do. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool facts that I no longer know because I now know how to make pivot tables instead. Super fun. Love being an adult.
I gave up my pivot tables to learn how to do a block clip. Only so much room in my head.
I think of my brain like that too. It's all like, oh, cool. Like I can now do a reverse block clip in the diamond staircase, but I don't know how to make pancakes anymore.
Yeah, I haven't found anything yet that I'm willing to give up to do the reverse block clip, so unfortunately that hasn't been added to the repertoire, but we're thinking it through.
Always got to be adding things to your game. I did my first HUD clip the other night, which I like immediately texted you about. I'm like, dude, I just did my first HUD clip.
I made sure to share that yesterday. We got the drop in the Ganon room.
Love it. Never a heart container, only in my dreams, but you'll get a map here and there.
It is a rarity to get an actual drop in the Ganon room. Not impossible, but a rarity to get a drop in that Ganon room right there. So that was cool. A lot of people skip that room. I know I usually do.
I don't, because I think that the heart container is going to drop at some point, despite that only being in my dreams one time.
One day, man.
I mean, that's one day it's going to happen. Fred's going to write it in there one time for me, and I'm going to find it, and it's going to be glorious.
Maybe we'll do like the minor item drop shuffle, right? And then we'll see it actually swap itself out.
Yes, there we go.
We'll go ask Jess to put another BR on for that one.
Just leave rupee speed off, please.
Jess, please take notes.
Minor item shuffle good, rupee speed bad, block clipping even worse. No block clipping even worse.
Oh yeah, turn in that flag. I like that flag sometimes. So people not aware what being referenced right now, there is a there's a setting in the randomizer that allows you to remove the like the block clipping ability and the screen scrolling and whatnot. So no one can do that. And so, there's our power bracelet finally for Starman. See where it puts him. But it can turn all that off, so you don't get to go ahead and move around and do any of the wacky stuff that people can do. And it's a good equalizer in terms of people who can't do that versus those who can. Now everybody's not allowed to do it. But on the other hand, too, it's a really good quality of life thing to do a lot of these clips.
Yeah, and I've put in the link to the wiki again, surprise, surprise. There is a whole section of advanced strategies and clipping, screen scrolling, all that stuff is in there with some pretty good tutorials. Once we get a little bit higher access, we're going to get a lot of those embedded correctly. But I used to there's even practice ROMs, we're talking about the buffet ROM.
Mm-hmm.
I used to put 20 minutes a day in just practicing Ganon fights, practicing clipping. I mean, yesterday before my race, I didn't run seeds. I practiced bomb forcing and forcing 16 count fairies. Like that's all I did before that race. I wasn't even concentrated on anything else. I'm like, I need to force bombs today. I just know it's coming.
Core mechanics are huge. Like doing things exactly like that, doing your bomb forces, figuring out how you're going to count these things. Block clipping as a core mechanic, screen scrolling as a core mechanic. Looking at what we run into, there's some cool stuff. Like someone can do a recorder, for instance, and mix the raft and the recorder together and end up in a different spot. But some of the things that are quote unquote advanced can really change an entire run, like a Kananaki, where you can go and make your way through a locked door. Oh, Sharky!
I'm gonna pause you here. Go get the hint. Go get the hint. You're right there. Go get the hint. Woof.
And I saw some. I know, right? Some commentary about people, saying how tricky the screen scroll is. That what it is. I hate to say it. It's practice, but it's also guidance. There's a lot of good videos out there. I know I actually had a really hard time with screen scrolls until I got guidance from some other people in the community on better ways to hit the D-pad. And that type of information is right there in the wiki too. Absolutely worth taking a trip over there and taking a peek.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, right? If you have a controller that it doesn't work well with, it's going to be hard. So finding a good controller or a keyboard or whatever is half the battle. But besides that, it's just practice. It really doesn't take that long to learn. It's really not that tough once you kind of get it figured out. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. I mean, you, me, and Tetra the other night were talking about this. Some of us use like the thumb going down. Some people use the thumb fingernail going up. Some people use their index finger on their other hand. Like you just gotta play around and find out what works best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that actual conversation was changed my game. Right, I went from not aligning on the right pixel and then over tapping on the D-pad to tapping correctly on the D-pad, but still misaligning on the pixel. But hey, we'll get there, you know. But yeah, that was definitely a very
You
constructive way to
know,
do it.
like one of the first things when I started doing block clipping, one of the first things that got to me, Malkier told me that he used to put a little bit of Scotch tape on his screen, and there is Scotch tape 3 years later to the date on my computer screen, and I don't even see it anymore unless I'm running Zelda. It's just like it just works for me. I'll probably never take it off.
And to add to what someone in chat said, right? Don't mind us talking about how these advanced strategies work and all these cool things and what's important. Yeah, at the core of this all, it's have fun. This is a great game. It's about to be 40 years old. Isn't that crazy? Next year, it's the 40-year anniversary. But it's an old game. It's a great game. Here we are watching people play and taking a fresh take on how it is. And I got to tell you, with everything being shuffled around, and particularly with the introduction of Shapes Dungeons, it's it really it goes and gives a fresh experience every single time, keeping this game fresh. I mean, even noticed by the amount of people that show up to come watch these events, to watch other people play this game here on Twitch, and see the variations and whatnot. Like this is really exciting. It's fun. Play for fun. But if you want to race every now and
If
again,
you want to be a competitive though, learn this stuff. Like it
yeah,
only
yeah.
makes you better if you want to be a competitive player. But yeah, like I pop in, I click on the Zelda category when there's no races on. I want to see who's playing. I want to see who's playing this game for the first time. There's this guy, he's out there. He finished, but he plays with a duck. He's got a duck that sits next to him when he plays video games, and you can spend channel points, and he'll feed the duck. And he just plays games, and he was playing Zelda, and we all popped in there one night, and Gigi was in there with me, and we were rooting him on and helping him get through level 9, and it's just so fun that people are experiencing this game for the first time almost 40 years after it came out, and we experience it differently every time that we play it with the randomizer.
And by the way, as exciting as that is, we've hit an even more exciting moment in this race. Starman has found level 1. And the silvers were pretty quick and easy here in 1. Alright, here we go. We're bombing up. I think we were go left, up, left, if I recall correctly. Sharky, man, you've been in the room. And open that room for a little bit there, Starman. Yeah, this is where we're gonna find the silvers, I think. And there they are. Alright, we are heading back to level 9. We know where Ganon is. We know where Zelda is, right? In terms of in terms of like where she is on the map itself, even if we don't have a clear path, like this is going to be pretty straightforward once we get in 9. Sharky, by the way, picking up the power bracelet may also take this as a cue to start searching the overworld for stuff. Find any remaining dungeons that are out there. I don't believe that Sharky has seen 3 at this stage of the game, for instance.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a map check right here. Like, what is going on? What am I missing? Unfortunately, Sharky finds the power bracelet instead of the bow. Yeah, I think that he didn't get that room marked correctly. Okay, so path to the lady is not through this room, so we're gonna have to get to her from the top. I'm thinking probably through one of those Ganon doors.
Yeah, I believe Nochi was calling out in chat that it's Ganon's room, another room, and then it's Zelda's room. So it's probably going to be a pretty quick path through. Now, I mean, maybe not. There's, game can be funny sometimes, but we'll see how that ends up panning out.
Game does indeed have a Rolodex of jokes, but I don't think tonight is going to be one of those unless it's a magic staircase in some weird section. I think that this thing is going to get wrapped up here pretty soon.
Yeah. Starman's very close. Ganon's only a room or 2 away right now. Whoop, whoop. A little bit of lag there.
Little moonwalk off the Lionel beam.
All right, there we go. Time to enter the Ganon room. Go right, go down. I mean, one of those two doors, maybe both of those doors will get you to where you need to be for the princess. And lower corner strats, like I'm here for it, right? I do that an awful lot myself, right? Hang out there, and eventually, if you keep doing your thing, Ganon is going to come to you in that lower left-hand corner.
Yeah, I think fighting Ganon, practicing different rooms, learning how to be aggressive is just another feather that you can put in your cap for this Ganon fight. As we do see the door pops, Zelda's in a Triforce room, but let's get our GGs in chat for Starman with a finish time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, 36 seconds, and 26 milliseconds.
GG to Starman. Great run so far. And let's take a look and see if we can't get him here into the chat. Incidentally, we see Sharky hitting pause and going up to their screen. Sharky has chosen to forfeit at this stage of the game. So ideally, we're going to get both of them here into chat at the same time, and we can ask some questions and get some understandings here. I know we got some that are popping up in chat on things that they want to hear. So yeah, let's see where we end up. Yeah, and Sharky has been given the information that the bow was in fact in 8 at this stage of the game. So we're gonna see the thought process at that point. If we get them in here.
We should try to figure out what's the percentage of time that Zelda is holding a bomb pack or a key and not giving it to us with our plethora of seeds that we've pulled.
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe I can pull that up while we are waiting. Specifically bomb, huh?
No, just bomb and key versus nothing. Or fiber. Let's add a fiber in there. Fibers are things. Our recorder tune tonight was Boss from Super Metroid. As we do have Sharky joining us here. Sharky, GG's, would you like to let everybody in on what happened in that level 8?
I might have missed a room or something, because I dug that whole 8.
Yeah, I think that the chat was saying that one room with the 3 black keys that you kept walking through was indeed the bow room.
Well, I did find that power bracelet, I hope, because I never found level 3s and 4. I'm assuming one of those levels probably power bracelet locked.
No, they both were open. 4 was the grave bomb spot, and 3 was in Death Mountain, the one bomb spot that you have to walk up the ladder to, and it's 3 or 4 bomb spots to the left there. Yeah, because 4 had the any key. 3 had the boomerang. We did get that off of the hint, I believe. Yeah, Starman got the hint for that one. So just you didn't have bombs at that point when you were up there. So going to those 2, any key might have helped you out a little bit more, but really probably misremembering that you didn't clear that one room with the bow is really what kind of bogged you up there.
So that's why I cleared everything out. Because if I would have found that bow, I would have been in 9 easily. Because I got 6 Triforces. But still, I knew it was 5s. Okay, I'm just missing bow. Just get Triforce and go. I found 6.
We were
clear,
trying to figure out what going back to 5 was about too, because you did get the ladder and the heart out of there, but you went back there one more time and couldn't really figure out what the incentive was there.
I think I probably brain farted.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking, that you probably maybe just forgot that you didn't get the ladder out of there. It's tough, man, when you're searching for an item like the bow and you're thinking about what your opponent's doing and what you need to do. It's totally understandable. I mean, you found one. I mean, he dug the power bracelet out and did the power bracelet checks before getting back into getting the raft check done. So you were definitely in this thing all the way up till the end.
Yeah, I think if I would have cleared that room in 8, the early on, yeah. Then again, mine would 9 been a key issue because I did buy, what is it, 4 keys throughout the
Yeah, 9 was pretty straightforward. Ganon was up 5 or 6 rooms, and then Zelda was right behind her, or behind him. So, yeah, you probably wouldn't have had any issues with keys in 9.
And more than likely, I probably would not gone for mags. I did try at 10. I know it was not 10. But having 13, I have a really good odds of getting it now, but knowing Rando, it'd be 14.
Yeah, and it was tucked away in such a weird spot, and the Innie roads didn't really help you to get up there because they all were up there in Death Mountain anyways. And,
Yeah,
we do
3
have
of the 4.
Starman joining us. GG, Starman.
I had forgotten about that route spot the entire seed.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
wondering. We were talking. It's besides Forgotten Spot, it's probably the second most forgotten spot on the map.
No, half the time, most of the time, like, route spots have nothing anyway. So they don't
Yeah.
really register as, like, checks sometimes.
Yeah. In one seat, I had the white sword item being recorded, tucked away right there. Because I read a hint at one seat. It's like, oh, sell to find something about the recorder. It's like, okay, so that might be a level. I was just beeline that and was like that, like, oh, it's not a level. It's just my white sword item. In this case, level 1 being there, having the silvers and the bloomerang.
I got the hint for the Bloomerang, so it was one of the reasons why 1 wasn't also high my priority to find. It's why I dug out 8 even harder than I should have.
Yeah, I never found a book, so couldn't read the hints.
Yeah, Starman, that's kind of the only question we had for you is how come you didn't go buy those hints before digging all those dungeons out?
Because I had forgotten which ones were the hint ones, and I'd bought like 2 hints already.
That's fair,
Well-
yeah. You end up getting them from the pricey shop. The cheaper one was the bomb spot 1 screen north of the North Forest Armos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharky bought or am I bleeding? Am I seed bleeding?
I know I bought like 4 keys. I don't think I found a bomb shop.
I found a bomb shop, but it was not. The other thing that annoyed me to see was like all the bomb enemies refusing to drop bombs until I had murderous power overwhelming.
Yeah, because for like 15 minutes, I swear, I'm trying to hunt down bomb dropping enemies. Like, oh, here's a good screen of all these Skiptos. Nope, not a single bomb drop. Like, come on, game. I need a bomb. The game did not want to give the bomb. Bomb upgrades were excellent. 86 for a really good pack of 5. So that saved me once because I was down to 1 bomb and I found a bomb upgrade. Like, I'm getting this. I don't care. I wasted a key. I want refill bombs.
But no, I got the full world tour because of like that. Also, the map in 8 being as tucked away as it was annoying.
I never found a map in. Yeah, I did find a map in 8 though. That was what led me to like, okay, I need to go this way. I need to clear this room. I need to clear this room. And of course, me skipping out early on in the Keys room. I'll probably just look at it later. Probably, yeah, seed later.
You probably passed it by a million times, getting to like the staircase that got you deeper into 8, where there was absolutely nothing. Oh no, the Triforce is back there. Better than that, nothing.
Yeah, the bait guy was back there. It's like, oh hi, how you doing?
Wi-Fi.
Don't mind me.
I got, if I remember correctly, I got to the ladder out of 5 very early. Had no bombs to go looking for the Triforce left, so I left. Got the red ring, and then completely forgot to go check the RAF spot up there.
Oops. Yeah, what led me to get my red ring was, I think I screen wrapped from the west end of the world. It just like the whole screen wrap. It just got there, got my red ring. I think then I headed north and found one right after. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, this was good routing. I felt good. Found the silvers. Like, okay. I got ladder. I got silvers. I don't know where 9 is at this time. It's like, I'm just hunting for a bow. Triforce and bow mode. Yeah, me not clearing that room got me. At least I didn't mismark something on my tracker.
Well, I am
I
going
don't-
to out.
I don't even know what I left in level 6, because I found that Triforce real
It was
fast.
I cleaned out the entire seed. It was the book.
I found a Triforce that's like, you know what? I got recorder. I'll come back later.
All right, so you guys are locked into the low rule bracket. Are you guys both planning on playing in that tournament?
Probably.
Yeah, I will. It'd be one more match before I'm out of the tournament.
You never know. You know, I felt the same way in SGL last year. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I ended up in the semifinals. You know, without any expectations. So, you know, you never know what's gonna happen in this game.
True. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Y'all have a good night.
Yep. And GG's and good luck in the bracket. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll go ahead and get things wrapped up here. Let's talk about scheduling. We have 3 races left tomorrow, followed by the bracket reveal and the award show. So, Eastern Time, Speed Gaming, Maine, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Magic Friends, 3 and 2 versus CD Improv, 3 and 2. So that is a seeding match. One of these runners is going to go 4 and 2 and bump themselves up into the seeding, and the other one is going to be down with a bunch of other 3 and 3 runners fighting for some seeding as well. Following a half an hour later, we have Bommy819 versus Rando Runner, another 3 and 2 versus 3 and 2. So another seeding match just like the one before that. And then an hour and a half after that, which would be 1:30 p.m. Eastern, we have 4 and 1 Malkier versus 4 and 1 Chestjerk. Those guys also playing for seeding. One of probably the top 12 seeds, I'd say, 5 and 1. That will be on Speed Gaming 3. So with all of that said, that's what we have left. If you want more information on the bracket reveal show, join the Discord. Exclamation Z1R 2025 in the chat. We'll get you that link. Neon, have you pulled out any final stats for this evening?
You know, I did have one last stat. You had the curiosity question. How often in these flags is Zelda hanging out with bombs or a 5 rupee or a key? 24% of the time she's hanging out with a key. 10.2% hanging out with bombs. 8% with a 5er. 3.1% with the compass, and in a whopping 1.78% of the time hanging out with the map.
Wow, that is a crazy stat in the night.
Lord.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you get us started on the final words here. We'll get this thing wrapped up. We'll get to bed so we can get up early for those breakfast matches on the West Coast tomorrow.
Absolutely. And so to close it out, first and foremost, thank you to SpeedGaming. SpeedGaming hosting this entire tournament. I know the Zelda 1 Randomizer channel has also been doing restreams. People have been personally doing restreams to get things on there, including on their own area. Big thank you to that. But SpeedGaming has been covering the bulk of that, and they covered tonight. So a huge shout out to everything SpeedGaming, to the runners, of course, for going through and doing the run for us. They didn't have to do this restreamed. They didn't have to do this for our entertainment, but they did, right? Not just for the race itself. They did it to make sure that we had an opportunity to actually see this and talk over it and get people really pumped and provide some entertainment this evening. Thank you to Nochibato for going ahead and doing tracking, keeping us honest and throwing stats and facts and all of the important tracks into chat too, to get everything up and running. To the community as a whole for showing up in force. I think we peaked at about 350 people today, and so that's always a huge win when we start seeing that. This has been a really popular tournament. Please, once again, swing on by the wiki, Z1R.wiki, and see what it takes for you to come on into the Discord, join us for comms, join us for tracking, join us for all sorts of things, or join us for runs. And finally, Rex, or the other half of, or the other part of Stats, Facts, and Tracks, thank you so much for another opportunity for us to get together and talk about a great race like this.
Absolutely. It just now hit me that we are three pieces, or the three Triforces in Hyrule. You, me, and Nochi.
My goodness.
The Stats, Facts, and Tracks. So I guess with that last fact of the night, we will say good evening and so long, and thanks for all the rupees.
Have a great evening.
Yep. Good night.